Hi everyone, it's Marlene. Welcome back to my channel. Well, today is Tuesday, the 2nd, August 2nd, and this video is going up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I go back to school because teachers in Brevard County go back to school tomorrow, and then the children go back on a week later, next Wednesday. So even though I said in one of my videos that you're going to be seeing next week, oh, it's so good to be home. Guys, it's really, really good to be home. I have been away all the month of July and I could not be happier. So the girls, Christie and Stephanie, have tagged me, and this is really a young girls tag, I think. But they tagged me and I said I was going to do it. So that's what we're going to do here today. And honestly, I barely even looked at the questions, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, I don't even know what this tag is called, but I'm sure I'll find out afterwards, and I'll leave it in the description. Okay, here we go. And can I make this bigger? Come on. All right. You're going to bear with me. Alright, how did you get your YouTube username? That's easy. The girls came up with that. I wanted something that showed that I was over 50, and I think it was Stephanie, maybe it was Christie, I can't remember which one of the two, said something about my brother always saying how fabulous I was, and I was fabulous, maybe in my 20s, not really now. At 59, that is around the corner. Anyway, so they came up, I'm just going to say that the girls came up with the name. Stephanie and Christy came up with the Fab and Glam over 50. If I could change my name to anything, what would it be and why? My name is Marlene, as you know, unless you're new to my channel. I wouldn't change my name. I have met very few Marlenes in my life, and one of them worked with me, and I loved her to pieces. The whole time that I was in school, I never met a Marlene. So I was very thankful to my parents for naming me Marlene. And actually the reason that they named me that, even though it's not one of the questions, is because they had recently arrived. They came from Cuba in '55. By the time I came along, they knew that they would stay in the United States. And my uncle did not want me growing up in the United States and having a Spanish name, and I guess that was just the mentality in the 50s. So Marilyn Monroe was popular, and so was Marlene Dietrich, and my mother did not want to name me Marilyn as my father wanted, and my uncle said name her Marlene, and that's how I got my name, and it was after Marlene Dietrich. Question number 3. If I could go back in time and give your younger self any advice, what would it be and why? Oh my gosh, this is like the easiest question. Stay out of the flippin' sun. Put on sunscreen and don't go out in the sun. Don't bathe in it. Don't use baby oil with iodine and sit in the sun and bake. Don't do it. That's what the 59-year-old self would tell my younger self. Okay, let me get off of that soapbox because, you know, that's a touchy subject for me. How old were you when you learned how to blow your first bubblegum bubble? Really? Really, Stephanie and Christy? Really? Really? Do you think I could think back that far? I don't know. 6? 7? I don't know. I was pretty young. I can't remember that far. What did you want to be when you were little? When I was little... And when I was younger, I probably wanted to be, when I was young, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a college professor and teach English Lit is what I wanted to do. And actually, I pretty much kind of steered in that direction, and I ended up staying as an elementary school teacher. So that's what I probably would have done. What do you order at Starbucks? Well, Starbucks doesn't have Cuban coffee. Therefore, I order just plain black coffee. I don't like sugar in my coffee unless it's Cuban coffee, And I never drink milk. I don't think I've drank milk since I was about 6 or 7. I don't like it. Let's see. What's the hardest you ever laughed? Oh, this is another easy one. I had a best friend, and she and I are still friends through Facebook. And Joanne was my next door neighbor, and she was one of 5 siblings. And I had the only crush on her older brother. And we had all gone out to a Japanese restaurant. And I don't know, I was about 13 or 14, something like that. And we're all sitting at the table. And you know, at Japanese restaurants, they place these little bowls with different foods, dressings, you know, little onions or mushrooms or whatever they place around you, or they did in that restaurant. So we're sitting and we're eating and all of that. And her older brother, after a little while, looks at one of the dishes, and I said, "Oh, you want some of this?" And I took the dish and I put it in front of him, and he starts eating and says, "Oh, that's not too bad." Joanne says, "What's he eating?" And I said, "I don't know, whatever was in that little dish." And she said, "Ooh, that's what I was chewing and I didn't like," and I spit it out and I put it in the bowl, and that's what I gave her brother. I guess you just had to be there. I thought it was really funny. Anyway, he didn't think it was very funny. He didn't think it was funny. I thought it was very funny. Okay, if you could play any musical instrument, which would it be and why? Well, actually, I learned how to play 2 musical instruments. I started learning how to play the piano when I was 5 years old, and I continued taking lessons until I was about 17. So I had extensive piano lessons. And for a while there, I thought I wanted to play in an orchestra, a symphony. And that I really thought about it. I used to play, I don't play anymore, but I used to play quite well. And then when I was in high school, started like probably elementary school, around 6th grade all the way through a senior in high school, I played the trombone. Yes, I know. But you know what? I wanted to be near the saxophone players. I had a reason. What's your favorite thing to do when you're upset? Go shopping for makeup. What else would I be doing? Or shoes. But makeup even more than shoes. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie, I don't watch a lot of TV and I don't watch a lot of movies, but if I had to watch movies again and again, don't laugh, I really love You've Got Mail. Anything with Tom Hanks and Mel Ryan? Is that her name? You know what I'm talking about. And the other one is The Mirror Has Two Faces with Barbara Streisand. I absolutely loved that movie, and of course she was an English professor in that movie. So those are my favorite movies. What's one food you cannot live without? Probably Cuban food. I was raised with it. My grandmother, that's what she cooked, and my mother, that's what she cooked, and I learned how to cook it pretty well. And I don't go to eat at Cuban restaurants, and I don't cook Cuban. I cook it rarely, but if I had to choose only one food to live with, it would have to be Cuban food, and it would probably be because I love the seasoning. I love that sofrito that we make, where you take the onions and the garlic and green pepper and you saute everything and add a little bit of cooking wine and a little bit of tomatoes, and you make whether it's chicken and rice or ground beef or whatever it is, you make it with basically the same sauce, and I really like it. What's my favorite dessert? I love chocolate. I am a chocoholic, but as much as I love chocolate, I would have to say that my favorite dessert is a cherries jubilee, where the cherries are sauteed with some brandy, and then it's It's flambéed, actually, is what it is, and then it's served over vanilla ice cream, and they make it at the restaurant on the side of the table. I haven't had it in years because I haven't been to any restaurants here in Florida where they make that. But if I can't have that, I'll have my chocolate cake. My favorite pizza topping. Well, I don't like meats on my pizza. I mean, I could have pepperoni and nothing else, but it would have to be garlic or anchovies. And you're all going out there, ooh, why? I don't know. Because I could take garlic intravenously if I could. Would you rather have the superpower to read minds or the superpower to be invisible? I wouldn't want to read anyone's mind because sometimes we think things that either we don't mean, or after a while we think, oh, I shouldn't have thought that. And I would hate to catch it in the moment before the person was thinking I shouldn't have thought that. So invisible, but actually I wouldn't want either one of them. Would you no. What do you do for your, what did I do for my last birthday? For my last birthday, we went out to dinner, and that's usually what we do. My husband takes me to my favorite restaurant, and we have a nice dinner for two, and that's what we do. And I am very happy with that. If I had one personal selfish wish, what would it be and why? So easy. I would go for plastic surgery top to bottom. I would get rid of the wrinkles, get rid of the tummy, get rid of the Cuban patootie. Yeah, I'd get rid of all. That's what I would do. Selfish. That's for me. Nobody else. And describe myself in 3 words. Geez. I think I'm pretty kind. I think I'm a kind person, and I also think I'm thoughtful. I also think that probably I'm a bit obsessive and compulsive, that I like to have everything really organized and in its place, and disorder just drives me absolutely nuts. So those are 3 things that describe me. Obsessive and compulsive is probably over the kind and thoughtful, but I try. Just try to be the best person I can be. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this tag. Girls, don't tag me with these kinds of questions again, because anyway, thank you girls, Stephanie and Christie, for tagging me. I hope you liked my answers. I don't know if any answers surprised you. Let me know if any of the answers surprised you. Thank you so much for watching. I really, truly appreciate every single one of you. And don't forget, follow your passion. I am, whatever it may be. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.